Hi, Loretta Calvert, Legally Quirky. I wanted to do a video on the difference between therapists and what they do in a therapy session versus what you can expect when you go to see a life coach. There are a lot of myths out there. There's so many people asking questions and being confused about the differences between therapy and coaching that at opencounseling.com, they actually listed all of the myths that people have about coaches and therapists. And so let's get to the truth. And this way you have better information to make a choice about who you see. So one of the myths that they talked about says that people think that it's exactly the same and there's no difference between going to a life coach or a therapist. And then flip side, some people think they're completely different. Both of those are not true. One is more focused on reaching a particular goal. That would be the life coaching. Therapy is more about healing, discovering patterns, and working on past issues. So that's one difference. One difference is that therapy focuses on past and life coaching tends to focus on present. So if you were to come to a life coaching session, I would ask you, what brings you in today? What is on your mind and what has been bothering you that you want to work on today? I would not spend a lot of time with you going over your past history and any trauma that you might have. That would be reserved for a licensed therapist that has training on, well, how do you deal with someone that has childhood trauma? What are the different aspects of the Maslow, hierarchy that they might be deficient in? So life coach, you come in with something specific that you work on. There's an end to that life coaching because eventually you reach that goal. Therapy is a lot more open-ended. Some people, the trauma that they've been through is so bad that they need to be in therapy for years because what happened was so damaging and happened at such a critical moment in their formative years that they need multiple sessions and more time to process what happened to them. Some people think that you progress from therapy to coaching. That's not true. You can do them side by side. Very often someone might come to me and they're already seeing a therapist about something, but they have a goal like opening a new business or filing for a divorce or moving and changing from one career to another career. And as a life coach, I am able to come up with steps, what's going to make them happy? How do they define success? What do you need to do in terms of actual steps outside of the session so that you keep progressing little by little towards the bigger goal? Life coaches are trained. A lot of people think that life coaches don't have any training. Right now, it varies from state to state how much training or if you need any training. I will say this, I did my training through a place that is ICF, International Coaching Federation approved. I'm also an attorney. So as an attorney, I have to abide by certain rules in the states where I'm licensed to practice law. But as a life coach, I also have the training and rules and ethics that they follow. One of the big things that I mentioned to people that come in for life coaching is the confidentiality. We don't talk about why you're coming to see us. I wouldn't even want to reveal to anyone that you are a client. It's no one's business. So when you come in and you talk to me, everything that we discuss is confidential. Any ideas that you have are covered and protected by the confidentiality. And there's no judgments. You would be surprised the things that I've heard over the years as an attorney and now as a life coach. Therapy, they think that a lot of people think if they go to therapy, they will become completely healed. But that's not true. You may need help on and off. Again, with a life coach, there's usually a goal in mind that we're going to work on. Some people may come in with a very vague goal to a life coach and say, I just want to be happier. But with a coach will help you define, well, what do you mean by that? How do you define happiness? What are you looking to accomplish? So that there are tangible results after working with a life coach. Coaches are good if you have a goal, if you feel stuck and you want to grow, if you're trying to change habits, or if you're struggling with a decision. One of the things that I love doing is divorce coaching. I have a lot of people that I've met over the years and done divorce work for. I've also had situations where I've had to mediate disagreements. You might be confronted with, do I want to stay in my marriage? Should I stay in my marriage? I'm not going to tell you what you should or shouldn't do, but I do give you all of the options. And I draw upon my experience as an attorney. You know, what have I seen? What do judges typically do in situations that are similar to yours? Do you want to file and represent yourself? Do you want to go and hire an attorney? And if you want to hire an attorney, I can refer you out to the people that I know in the community that have handled divorces, and on some situations I've worked with them. There may be a situation where you want couples counseling, couples therapy, and so I would send you to the therapist that I know. Or it could be that you're at the point where you know you want the divorce and you want to go to mediation and you want to try to work out as much of the divorce paperwork as possible. You can do that also. So there's lots of ways nowadays to proceed with a divorce, but ultimately I do have people come to me and they say that they're not sure, they're not ready. And every now and then I'll get a call from someone, they're thinking about a divorce, they just want to talk to me, and we kind of talk through things, and I might not hear from them again for 3 months, 6 months, a year, but eventually they will come back and say, okay, I gave it a try. It's not working, things are not changing or improving, and so I do want to go ahead and file for that divorce. Again, if you hire me as a life coach, I cannot be your attorney for the divorce. I would need to refer you out to someone to be your attorney, because it's just a different relationship. You might want to continue seeing me as your divorce coach while your attorney is handling the divorce in court. And not gonna lie, divorce is stressful. It's a major life stressor, just like death or moving or changing jobs. And it's good to know that there are resources out there to help you. I mentioned mediation a few times, and so I want to give you the definition of that. Mediation is when a third party that's neutral comes in and helps both sides to come to some sort of an agreement. And depending on the state, there are different types of mediators, different types of training. I live in Tennessee. Tennessee has Rule 31 mediators for family law. I'm getting trained for that in April in Nashville. And in the past, I've done mediations involving employment law situations. So there might be a situation and HR contacts me and they need a mediator to come in and mediate between two employees that have had some sort of interaction that has come up on the HR radar. And they're trying to work out a solution without anybody filing a lawsuit. And so in a mediation, again, it's voluntary. You don't have to do mediation unless, certain courts like family law, the judge will send you to mediation again to try to get you to work out as much as possible so that you save time, energy, and money in the mediation rather than spinning your wheels and showing up repeatedly to court. So if you have any questions, I'm going to ask you to just put them in the comments. You can also reach out to me. I will add my email address in the description. And again, my website is Legally Quirky. My name is Loretta Calvert. I'm a lawyer, life coach, and author. Thanks. Bye.